Alright, what is up YouTube? Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about why I love shonen. When I say shonen, I mean, the animes and manga in Shonen Jump. Not just in Shonen Jump, but there are other quote-unquote shonens, like, I guess more so talking about the genre. But yeah, you got your classics like the Dragon Balls, the Narutos, the Bleach, but then also other franchises outside of Shonen Jump, like Seven Deadly Sins, Fairy Tail, etc. I would even go as far as to say Full Metal Alchemist is also a shonen, but yeah, more so talking about the genre itself. So to me, shonen is a really great way to tell a story that I think is pretty exclusive to anime and manga, and it's like one of the coolest things I think to stumble upon when you are, first getting into anime, and I've always found it so cool. The things that shonen has to offer. Like, I feel like for me, it's just like the perfect mix, the perfect blend of like action, adventure, drama, and just everything about, and world building as well. Like, it's so cool. And I feel like you just don't really get that in a lot of American television and stuff like that. So, it was really just breathtaking to kind of jump into, when I first started getting into anime. A lot of the things that I feel like people would say, oh, this is like a trope or whatever, in like long-running shonen and stuff like that. Honestly, I love that shit. I love it. Like, the whole like rivalry trope, Goku Vegeta, Naruto Sasuke, like Deku Bakugo, like that whole like rivalry thing that a lot of shonens do have. I love that. I love that. Like, that is so cool. It's always so cool to like see Goku and Vegeta and how they progress and like battle. Their struggle just keeps amplifying, like Naruto and Sasuke, as they grow stronger and stronger and stronger. I'm like, oh my god, I want to see them fight. It's like kind of feels like fan service in a bit, but at the same time, like, I am a fan of the franchise. So it's like, yeah, of course. Like, I just, I really love that trend in a lot of the longer running shonens. Another thing is like the transformations. I also think is really, really cool. I feel like people do say nowadays like transformations are outdated, but I would argue that that's not true, because I mean, you still see like Deku 100% full cowling or whatever. Like, that's still a transformation. Just because they disguise it better, I guess, it's still a transformation, guys. Like, But yeah, I always thought like the different transformations in Dragon Ball were so cool. The ones in Bleach, like Ichigo's different forms, oh my god, those are definitely like my favorite transformations in anime, to be honest. I really loved how he had his mask. I thought that was so cool. Like, oh my god, like, transformations in anime are honestly really, really, really cool. Well, most of the time when they have really cool designs, it's really cool. Yeah, and like to see, that's always something else I thought was always just really, really cool. And yeah, I love how you can kind of go on this adventure with these characters, and sometimes it's kind of lighthearted and they can just throw in all these jokes and gags, but then sometimes, it gets really serious, right? Another thing I really, really love that shonen does a lot of the time is when they do these like epic moments, like they just have all this build up, and like there's so much, like, for example, in the Chunin exams in Naruto, when first it's like Neji fighting Naruto, and then it becomes Sasuke fighting Gaara, and then Orochimaru, comes out with his plan, and he's fighting the third Hokage, and then Naruto and Sasuke are in the forest fighting Gaara, and then it just ends with Naruto headbutting Gaara, and it's like, oh my god, like, it's just, everything is just happening, but then it's like all this build up, like, and I guess that kind of leads into what I was gonna talk about, which is anime fights in general, right? Like, a lot of the anime fights in shonen, like, some of them are a bit longer, I would say. They drag out for a few episodes. I hate to use the term drag out, because I feel like they're not dragging on. I mean, sometimes, sure, they can drag on a bit, but I feel like the anime fights in shonen are supposed to be long, because they're not just fights. If they were just fights, then yeah, they would probably last like a few seconds, in a show, and that's super boring. But the fights in shonen, the reason why they're, they last a few episodes sometimes is because they're not just fights. They're more than just fights. It's like a story itself within the story, a story within the battle. And, it's more than just a fight. It's these two characters pitting their morals against each other, you know, striving to come out on top, to be like, you know, I am right, you're wrong. And I feel like when you don't understand one character's, you know, intentions or moral, it's not, you know, it doesn't feel right. But like the reason why we remember all these shonen fights, the reason why we're like, oh my god, like I love that fight, or I remember that fight, is because they last a few episodes, and when they last a few episodes, they feel important. They stick with us. They stick in our brains. We remember that. But like, you know, one of the things I feel like Hunter x Hunter is lacking is in the action department, is in the fights, because I feel like most of the quote-unquote fights in that anime really don't last that long, really don't have, you know, what I was just mentioning, you know, a story to their battle. It's really just kind of like, you know, I'm not gonna get too into it, but yeah, that's always one of the things I didn't really like about Hunter x Hunter, and one of the things I thought that as a shonen it is very lacking in. But yeah, the way shonen tends to do epic moments, I feel, is just very phenomenal. Like when Luffy finally took down Rob Lucci, like bro, like, you know, who forgets that? You know what I mean? Like it's just, I love the way shonen does the epic moments. Man, like that's the stuff, man. That's the stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this one, guys. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.